Hi, my name's Starsky. In this episode, I'm going to take a look at the brand new Behringer Edge. The brand new Behringer Edge. So what exactly is it? It's a bit of a cross between a drum machine, a synth and a sequencer. If you look at the top here, we've got two oscillators, we've got a filter, we've got a couple of envelopes. It's all honed towards percussive sounds. That's effectively a two oscillator synth. On the bottom two rows, we've got the sequencer, we've got pitch and we've got velocity. There's only 8 steps, so you can't do really complex long loops. But what is complex about it are the tones it makes. Every little tweak you make affects every one of the 8 steps because it's essentially one tone you're playing, but tweaking it step by step. And I think I'll start off by running through the synth engine because it's a way of understanding what the rest of it does. So if we just advance this to a particular step, okay, let's turn oscillator 2 down, let's turn the noise down. Let's just open the filter. That's a nice kick sound, isn't it? And that's being created using just oscillator 1. We've got 3 envelopes in here. We've got one for the pitch of the oscillators that you hear in there. We've got an envelope for the filter as well. You can hear that closing the filter. And obviously we've got an envelope for the amplifier. So to make a nice 808 style kick. It's quite good already. Maybe take off a little bit more of that envelope. So that's just a single oscillator with a little bit of envelope on the pitch. Using the triangle, let's use the square. So many more harmonics in that. Got a lot of power, hasn't it? So if we play that now using the sequencer, along the bottom we've got velocity, along the top we've got pitch. We'll turn the pitch off for now. We can assign it to both the oscillators, have it turned off, or go into just oscillator 2, but turn it off for now. So these are just the volume. So we should just be hearing this on 1 and 5. Instantly, it's got a real techno-y vibe, hasn't it? So every tweak you make affects every one of the steps, which is why it sounds so organic. Let's add the second oscillator. Every time I play it, I just want to keep on messing with it. So that's basically how it works. It's really quite simple, but there's so much you can do with it. We just come back to a single step, advance it to step 1. Let's take the noise off, open the filter again so we can hear what's happening. That's the 2 oscillators you can hear. We've got sync. That's just sync like you get on any synth. If we add some envelope, some really mad little tones you can get out of it. And some really gnarly sounding kicks. Again, you're listening to just a single oscillator there. And the eagle-eyed of you will have noticed I've got something patched in here, and we've got outputs for the pitch and the velocity that can go to any of the CV inputs, which means we've got a lot more modulation than at first appears. So if I take something from the velocity output and put it into the VCF mod, this knob here is now the VCF modulation amount. So this cable here is affecting this knob here, which is going to be controlled by the velocity. So actually, let's put it into the pitch. So now this one and this one and this one will open the filter, which is how we can get things like kicks and snares. So if we just put that on the 5, for example, bring in oscillator 1, we're getting sort of a kick and a snare. But of course, this isn't about doing kicks and snares, it's about doing all those little things in between. Let's add oscillator 2 again. Nothing here is planned, you might have guessed, but everything just seems to work. And then we've got the high pass as well. So flicking these switches on and off can really add to the performance. A little trick this has got up its sleeve that the DFAM from Moog doesn't have is the MIDI in, MIDI out and USB. so you can make instant 808 style bass lines. And if we look down here, we can clock it. So if I play the sequence of the ARP on the key step, which is a really nice addition, because this means you can sync it up with anything that you've got, and you don't have to have the whole modular setup and all sorts of CV converters and triggers and whatnot in order to use it. It's it's very, very handy indeed. So what are my final thoughts? So there you have it, the Behringer Edge. It's a great techno drum machine, percussive synth, sequencer, whatever you want to call it. It just sounds fantastic. I love the way every loop you make sounds natural. It sounds like it's part of itself. It's much different than creating a loop with a kick drum, a snare, a hi-hat that can sound completely different to each other and don't fit together as a single whole. With this, everything you do just melds together, and I do really like it. But then I do really like my mode defount as well, so it's hardly surprising that I like the Edge. It's a great thing. But this one obviously is a lot cheaper. It's €199, £159, whereas the Behringer is about 600, so it's about 3 times that price. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, don't forget you can catch it whenever you like on our Clubbing TV official YouTube channel on the From the Studio playlist. And if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll see what I can do to answer them. And if you are into your synths, your drum machines and the like, do check out my Starsky Carr channel as well, where I've got a really in-depth look at the Edge versus the defount, which is quite interesting. And I'll see you in the next episode of From the Studio.